No matter where we went, nobody seemed to be chasing after us. So I don't know why nobody was pursuing the dragon. I guess wherever we went, nobody actually had time to call in any kind of help. So the dragon was just getting away with everything and nobody challenged him. And then he decided he was thirsty. So we landed next to some huge river, and he just started drinking the river water. I said, son, that river's full of pollution. And I said, you're going to make yourself sick. And he said, because he's a magic dragon, he doesn't get sick. He said, it's not possible. It doesn't matter if there's pollution in the river or not, it won't affect him.
Immune to pollution.
There's a couple of guys sat there fishing, and I don't think they even realized the dragon had just landed next to them. They were just so focused on what they were doing. And they didn't seem to notice when he picked them up and put them in his mouth and had them as a snack. They didn't even scream. I think they were just so in the zone with their fishing that everything else around them just faded away, which I guess was for the best. And the dragon said to me, humans today don't taste as good as they used to 1,000 years ago. So they were so much tastier back then. I didn't know how to react to that.
Not the same anymore.
Then he said, I hope you taste better than everybody else I've munched away on today. I said, no, son, I won't taste any good at all. I drink booze all the time, and my diet is really poor. So I doubt that I'm going to taste very good. And he said, we'll see. We'll see. He's still going to eat me. And he told me even if he doesn't have any room left, and he's on the verge of throwing up because he had so many humans, he's still going to eat me anyway. Even if I give him indigestion, he's still going to eat me.
I'll still eat you.
And he thinks maybe I will taste nice because I'm so strange. And he thinks maybe my strangeness will somehow enhance the flavor. And he has me for dinner. Okay. So as he was still on the ground, I'm drinking. I saw this as an opportunity to try and escape. So I tried to jump down off his back, and I hit the ground, and I nearly broke my goddamn ankle. And I just ran. I don't think he noticed. I just ran through the fields and into this village. And I tried to tell people about the dragon, and they thought I was insane. I said, didn't you see the dragon fly over your village just now? And they just shook their heads as if I was some crazy nut. I tried to explain things to everybody, but nobody would listen. People started slamming their doors, thinking I was some lunatic that's just coming to their town. Everyone was afraid. And then I realized they weren't slamming their doors because of me. I heard the flapping of wings, and I turned around and I saw the dragon was coming in. That's why they were running inside the houses, because the dragon was coming. And then he saw me down on the road, and he said, how dare you try to escape me? You are my dinner, and you will not escape. No, he said no human has ever escaped from him. He's eaten everybody that he has intended to eat for thousands of years. And I'll be no exception. There's no way I'm going to be able to save my life. Oh, we'll see about that, son. So I ran inside this restaurant, thinking I'd somehow be safe in there, which was a really stupid thing to think. See, he just set fire to the place, and then he took the roof off with one claw, and he just reached right in and he picked me up and put me back on his back again. And he set fire to the whole town, and then he flew away with me still on his back. We flew back out to the ocean again. I thought maybe he was going to drop me in the sea, but he didn't. Which I would have actually liked it if he had to drop me in the sea, because then maybe I could have tried to swim to shore. And then I remembered that I can't swim very well, so I probably would have died. Then we started to approach some kind of island that I'd never seen before. This tiny little island in the middle of the goddamn ocean, and the dragon just flew around and landed on the beach. And he told me to get the hell off his back. So I did. And he said there's no point trying to run, because there's nowhere to run to. This is a tiny island, and it's one of his personal places that he likes to go to sleep.
Sleep?
He has a cave. It's a huge giant cave that he likes to sleep in. And there's no other land for miles and miles, and there's no boat here, and no goddamn way I could ever be rescued or try to escape myself. He told me he had actually brought some food with him, and he told me he wanted me to cook. He said there was a huge kind of giant cauldron type thing, and he brought lots of vegetables that he had picked up before he met me today. And he wants me to cook up some kind of stew. And I will be the main ingredient of that stew, and he wants me to cook it up before I put myself in. Oh my God, he's sick. He's goddamn sick, son. He wants me to make Hootwhistle stew. And I refused. So I'm not going to do that, son. He said, you will do that, otherwise I'll set fire to you right now.
Set you on fire.
So I found myself chopping up vegetables, getting ready for this stew. For the stew that I'm going to be cooked inside. This is something that's never happened to me before.
Tasty stew.
After a time, when the stew had been bubbling away for a couple hours, he said that it's time for me to get inside.
Get inside.
But he said you can leave your clothes on. You don't have to get into the stew naked, because he likes to eat humans' clothes because it gives it an extra kind of chewiness when he eats them.
Nice and chewy.
And I said, son, if you want me to be cooked in that stew, you're going to have to pick me up yourself in your goddamn claw and put me into that stew. And he said he will. And I said, but son, first, if I'm going to die, if this is my final few minutes here on Earth, he said it won't be a few minutes, because it's going to take a while for me to cook in this stew, and I'm going to cook alive. That's nice, son. Thanks for telling me that. That's something that I really want to hear. And I said, well, regardless, son, I said, as my end is approaching, is it possible to have a last request? And he thought about this for a second. It's something he'd never actually granted before. He'd never given anyone a last request. He had never fulfilled a last request. He had never given anyone enough time to ask for a last request because he'd just eaten them. And I'm the first human that he's actually let live for a whole entire day before he eaten them. And he told me I should feel privileged about that. I didn't feel privileged because I was going to be his stew. And he said, "What's your last request?" And I said, I'd like to share a whiskey with you, son. Let's have a whiskey together. And he said, "I told you I don't drink human booze." And I said, well, can't you make this exception just this once, as I'm going to die? And he said, okay. He said, well, we'll have a drink together. So I got out my bottle of whiskey, and I took a swig, and then he just snatched it from me. Rude son of a bitch. He should have waited for me to just offer it to him, but he just took it. Son of a bitch. And he held it with just one claw, and he drank it down all at once. And he liked my whiskey, and he said to me, "Have you got any more?" I just happened to have 2 more bottles in my clothes, and I handed them to him, and he drank that, and he drank the other one. And he said, "Booze wasn't like this 1,000 years ago. It was very different." And then he suddenly started to choke, which I didn't expect. And then he started to shake, and he started to convulse, and then suddenly blood was coming up out of his mouth. So I guess he must have been allergic to the goddamn whiskey, son. And who knew? The dragons are allergic to whiskey. And then he just keeled up and just fell onto the sand, and he was dead. He's goddamn dead, son. The goddamn whiskey killed the dragon. And that's something I didn't see coming. If I'd known that, I would have persuaded him to drink whiskey when I first met the son of a bitch. And I thought, I had this feeling of relief. I thought, dragon's dead. I got no whiskey, but I'll just have to wait till I get back to my bar for that. And I got a goddamn stew right here. I can eat the stew that I was going to be a part of. I could even eat the dragon too. And he was going to eat me. So maybe it's only right that I should eat him. I can have dragon stew. And as this island that I'm on is in the middle of goddamn nowhere, it could be a while before I get rescued. Or if I chop down some trees, I might be able to make myself some kind of boat to sail away from this island. That's going to take time. But as there's a whole goddamn dragon here, I can eat that son of a bitch, and I can carry on living for a while until I can leave this island. So all in all, this day seems to have worked out in my favor. Hootwhistle gets to live for another day. So somehow, I'll survive again. No matter what happens to me, somehow, I just seem to keep on living. I don't know how. I just keep surviving.